Last video was all about understanding the basics of algebra. This begins with understanding the linear equation. You have been given a total of $100. You want to spend that $100 buying some gifts for your friends. So you have a certain number of friends. Let's say you have 15 friends coming in your house party, for example. So you want to buy 15 items as a return gift, but you don't know how much will each item cost. So you will just call that as X or any variable that you like, okay? Because you are buying 15 of them. Along with that, you will be spending some amount of money in your fare. So let's say you're spending $25 in your fare. You have a total of $100 to spend. So you want to think about, you want to calculate how much of money will you be using to buy one item or one gift, because you're buying 15 of them. You're buying for 15 people. In this scenario, you can actually find the amount of money you can spend on each item before going to the market. So you can analyze that. With the help of algebra, you can just be more calculative and use your money wisely so that you can buy the best gift for your friends. So how to do this? Now this has become an equation. Equation because of this equality here. I know that the total amount I can spend is $100, no more than that. So when you have an equation with one unknown like this, you can actually find that unknown by following some steps. This is called a linear equation. What is the meaning of linear? Actually, linear represents a straight line, meaning if you were to graph this, you would get a straight line. Okay, I'll come to that part later. But when you see an equation like this where there is one unknown, you can actually find out that unknown. This is itself called solving linear equation. This is one of the very basic things we all study in algebra, and you want to understand how this works. So you are spending some amount X dollars. You're spending for 15 times because you have to buy gifts for 15 of your friends, and then you have to add your fare along to that to make a total of $100. Now, it's like board maths, but we just have to do the opposite of what you have been doing in board maths. What I mean, in board maths, what do? You multiply first and then add to get this answer 100. Now, to go backward and find out this value, you have to start backward, meaning we'll start at 100. We have a total of $100 to spend. So what will I do is, I'll have to think about the money I'm spending on the fare. I have to do the opposite because I'm coming backward of this equation. I'll start at 100 because 25 was added later, right? So when you're going backward, you just do the opposite of board maths, meaning whatever is being added or subtracted, you want to get rid of that first, which means from $100, you want to remove this $25 which you're spending on the fare, giving you that you have a total of $75 to spend on the gifts. After you removed your fare, $25, you have a total of $75 which you want to spend for 15 items, correct? Now what do you want to do is, you want to find the value of one item, and 15 is just multiplying here. We want to do the opposite because we are coming backward. I'm saying again, we are coming backward, so we just do what? We are reversing the operations. Instead of plus, we subtracted. Instead of multiplication, we will divide. Remember, the opposite of multiplication is division. So whatever answer you have, 75, you want to divide that by 15. What happens when you divide 75 by 15? The answer is 5, which means the value of X is actually equal to 5. You can verify your answer by putting this value back into the equation and see if you actually make the total of 100. So 5 times 15 is 75 plus 25 is actually equal to 100, which means you can be confident now what you got is actually correct. So you have a total of $5 to spend per item, and you will be buying 15 such items for all your 15 friends. This is called linear equation, solving linear equation. This is the very first thing we all study in algebra. The concept is very simple. No matter what kind of expression you have, when it is equated to something, then you can just solve it. You can solve for that unknown variable by simply doing the opposite of board maths, starting backwards. So let's say, for example, if I'll give you 3x plus 4 divided by 5 equals to 8. Now, understand the procedure likewise. You have some unknown value. What's happening to this? It's multiplying with 3 added to 4 and then divided by 5 to give you a total of 8. This is the meaning of the equation. So to solve it, we'll go backwards, meaning we'll start from 8. So I have the answer as 8. We'll go opposite. So 5 was dividing this side and that was the last thing that happened here. You want to take this 5 first. So division, opposite of division is multiplication. So 8 times 5, that is something you'll do first. And then what you're doing here is adding 4. So you want to do the opposite of adding 4, which is subtracting 4. And then because it was multiplying by 3, I want to divide by 3. That is how you will find the answer. Just go backwards, just trace the path backwards and oppose the existing operation. Okay, so 8 times 5 is 40, minus 4 is 36, divided by 3. 3 times how much is 36? 12. Well, you got your answer. The x value here has to be 12. Again, you can go back, plug in the value of x as 12 and see if you actually get the answer as 8. You can check it yourself. 3 times 12 is 36 plus 4 is 40, divided by 5, it's 8. So well, you can be very confident whatever your answer is, you got it right. Okay? This is how you solve linear equation. This is one of the most common concept, and IGCSE really wants you to be very strong at this, because when question comes based on what problems, you will have to apply this likewise.